Hello.
Okay, thanks, everybody. This is the Solid Waste Special Service District meeting for Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. It's 4:30 p.m. My name is Colin Topper. I'm the chair. If we could go around and introduce ourselves, starting with in-person. Mike?
Mike Dunaway, board member at large.
LJ Blackburn, Vice Chair.
Lily Houghton, Administrative Coordinator.
Who do we have online?
AJ Throgmorton, board member.
Nick Lumberg, accounting support.
Chris Scoville, district manager.
Okay. Excellent. So do we have any citizens to be heard? Emails? No. Okay, moving on to action item A, review and approval of December 10th, 2025 meeting minutes.
I know it wasn't on the agenda, so maybe we'll do a minute of silence.
I'm sorry. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Okay, can you say anything?
Yeah, can you? Yeah.
So I believe the board and staff, we had a solid waste staff member pass away over the weekend, and in honor of Mike Johnson and his service to the district, we're going to have 1 minute of silence.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Okay, so we are moving on to action item A. This is the review and approval of the December 10th, 2025 meeting minutes. Everybody have an opportunity to look those over?
Yep.
Any changes? Do we have a motion?
There's just one little minor thing. Under board reports, under Colin, it said that new trash cans have been placed. They have not been placed yet. I think, mid-February.
Thanks, Chris. Okay, do we have a motion with Chris's change, please?
I move to approve the minutes of the December the 10th, 2025 minutes with the adjustment of the parts that have not been placed.
I second the motion.
Thanks, LJ. Thanks, Mike. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Take a minute.
Oh, minutes, yes. Thank you.
None opposed. Thank you. Action item B, review and approval of December 2025 financials. Lily.
Great. December expenses were higher than November by quite a bit, by almost $230,000. So December did have $120,000 payment to the PTIF fund. Payroll expenses paid in December overall were $22,000 less than November. So overall, okay. So there was a January health insurance payment that in 2026 we moved to paying that via ACH instead of the check. It used to always be paid by check, like towards the end of the month. So that was one reason why the payroll expenses were lower from the payroll account. But actual payroll expenses were about $25,000 higher. And that included staff year-end bonuses and 2 holidays that were paid in December. December was also bigger just with how the pay periods fell. The Thanksgiving holidays were paid in December just with those pay periods. And then Mountain America operations account expenses paid in December were $346,423.21. Which is about $130,000 higher than November. The biggest one was we paid cash for the Posi Shell, the alternative daily cover machine out at Klondike. And then we did sneak in just under $16,000 for some much needed computer upgrades for staff. So there was also, we came in under budget, and which is good. And then there were the profit and loss attached, if there are questions.
Mary said that her Zoom link is not working.
No, it's
Is it-
working now. It's
Oh,
working.
okay, never mind.
It took me a long time to get on and all of a sudden it works. So thank you.
Never mind.
I'm sorry, I missed your call, Mary. I just see that now. Or no. Oh,
Yeah.
so,
And I guess, Mary and Ashley, do you want to quickly introduce yourselves?
Yeah, Ashley Wareham, treasurer. Sorry, I'm late.
Mary McGann as board member and member of the county commission.
Okay, what questions do we have for Lou?
I don't have any questions.
Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve the expenditures for the month of December twenty twenty-five in the amount of $686,959. $686,959.07.
Thanks, Mike. Do we have a second?
Second,
Thanks, Ashley. Okay, all in favor?
yes, aye.
None opposed. Okay, thank you. We're moving on to staff reports. Chris.
Right now we're working on the employee handbook. The board has a committee. It's been sent to them. I think that I just wanted to bring that up because I think for me, it's more important that we get this right, rather than trying to meet deadlines. I think our deadlines are good, but once again, I think it's more important for us to get it right. Kind of an update on the strategic management plan. I got contacted by the UDEQ. The solid waste district we're 11 years past due of turning in a solid waste management plan. I knew this was coming, and really kind of working through the strategic management plan, we'll come up with the solid waste plan. I've been working with the UDEQ on timelines to get that completed. Me and Lily went to a county audit meeting. They have some deadlines that I'm not sure whether our current auditors are going to be able to meet or not. I had Lily send out an email to them. We're kind of waiting for a response, but we have a couple deadlines that we have to pay attention to. One is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Lily, one's May 18th as far as completing our report. And if we were going to try to utilize the audit company that the county's going to use, we would have to decide that by April 16th. And I think that's the date. They were supposed to send us out kind of an itinerary of these due dates that I've yet to see. The rental trucks that were just discussed last board meeting are moving along. There's been a little bit of a hiccup in trying to get a title assignment, but that just sounds like it's a little bit of paperwork, so it might take an extra week, but that's progressing. We had a delivery of carts, poly carts, that was also discussed at a previous board meeting. So that's good. We were down to our last couple poly carts. Before next board meeting, we have a couple of good trainings. One is for the 8 alternative daily cover Posi Shell machine that we Lily mentioned that we paid for in December, and also of our eco drum for our compost project. Our Klondike permit was turned in. We're still waiting for an answer or approval on our Moab landfill permit renewal. That's been over the 6-month mark that they usually suggest their time frame. The UDEQ suggests about 6 months, so we're a little bit past that for approval. Like Lily mentioned, we invested in some new computers, but it's not just computers. We're kind of redoing our entire IT systems, trying to get everything kind of consolidated and working. We spent a significant amount of money on software and trying to get the staff to utilize that software. The first process in that was trying to get our IT infrastructure dialed in. I've had some meetings with HDR. Specifically, they're helping me with the permits, but they're also going to be helping test with the brownfield shooting range that's adjacent to the Moab landfill. So the county, and I think I mentioned this last board meeting, the county gave us approval to go ahead, just do basically a feasibility scenario to see whether we can take that material or not. I'm going to kind of slow roll that and just kind of watch our finances before we get too deep into paying an engineering firm. I'm going to be looking at trying to get some funds. UDEQ has a division that deals with brownfields. And the last I spoke to them, they did have some funding available to help remediate, and part of that would be testing. I have a meeting, and I brought this up both with the county and the city and the board, and this has to do with our financial assurance. Our financial assurance for closure, post-closure, our numbers are way off. We owe significantly more than we've been claiming to the UDEQ. So I think it's Monday, they're trying to finalize the meeting date where I can sit down and we'll kind of go from beginning to end and figure out exactly what our responsibilities are and how we can remedy the situation. When I met with the city and the county, I did give them assurance that I was not trying to get money out of them, but I just thought that they should be aware because they are on the hook for these closure, post-closure funds.
Chris, that meeting is this coming Monday? So we said?
Yes.
When is that meeting? Okay.
Yeah. It's tentative this Monday. Their schedule looks, but they're trying to pull in one of the guys from the UDEQ that specializes in financial assurances. Because I was asking questions that they didn't have answers to, so that's the holdup, whether it's going to be Monday or later next week. But it definitely should be next week.
Okay.
Because this is going to be a necessary component to our audit. So trying to get that done sooner than later so that we can get through our audit with the least amount of hiccups as possible. We're planning for our spring voucher program. As you guys know, we do a spring voucher program in the spring and in the fall. This year, I would like to expand the spring voucher program to include the transfer station, basically just to help mitigate the volumes that are coming in.
Makes sense.
We're going to probably include part of this, another component of this that we haven't done in the past, where we're going to accept a larger volume of waste tires. It's a big problem in the community, and I'm in the process of applying for another grant for our waste tire cleanup. So it'll be a minimal cost to be able to help the community try to clean those tires in as long as I can kind of time it right. And I think it would be a value to the community. I apologize, I'm a little slow here. I'm not feeling up to par. Oh, and then in reference why I caught that trash can is there's been emails going out. It looks like those trash cans on Main Street. They're putting some artwork on them, and the tentative date is about mid-February for the cans to go, new cans to go out on Main Street. I also had a meeting with Forrest Grin and Associates, and this has to do, and I brought this up a little bit. So, as everyone should know, we've been struggling a little bit on trying to do some improvements to the transfer station and to the leased property. A lot of it had to do with basically just staff shortages at the planning and zoning. The other issue was that they aren't really excited about trying to zone the transfer station a heavy industrial and have a heavy industrial zoning kind of in the middle of the county here. I was able to find an exemption in the county land use code, and the new planning and zoning director is supposed to set up a meeting. I think I could probably take this right to the county commission for a vote, but I think what he would like to do is have it go in front of the planning and zoning board, and I kind of agree with that. If there's something that I'm missing along the way, I'd like to kind of catch it before it went in front of the county commission. Yeah, I think that's all I have. If there's any questions.
So, Chris, with the posi shell and the composter, does that mean after that training, are they both operational?
Yes. Yeah, so then it's just so after the training, and then we'll start to work that in basically to our standard operating procedures and how we deal with the working phase.
Great.
Yeah, that should be.
So when will it be working? When will it be running?
So the training is
Did you say the 8th of February?
no, the training for the alternative daily cover machine, is that what we're asking about, right?
Yes.
The training for that is the 27th. So yeah, the first week in February we'll start to utilize the alternative daily cover. There might be a little bit of a hold up. I'm still kind of waiting on approval from the UDQ. They have to approve any change to our working face operations. But it's a material that they already have approved. It's like a pre-approved process. So when I have my meeting with them next week, I'm going to try to see if I can't expedite our uses. So that would be the only holdup. It would be just the state giving us approval to use it. And it is in our permit renewal that is a process that we're going to be using, but we don't want to wait for that. I mean, it's taken over 6 months for them to review our Moab permit renewal. So yeah, I'm not real excited about waiting for them to approve the Klondike permit renewal, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
So yeah, fingers crossed that we'll start using it the first week.
I have a question. Well, is it going to be hard, those grants for the tire? Did you hear me?
You broke up a little bit.
Is it going to be hard to get the grants for the tire removal?
No.
Okay.
No, it takes, I actually had quite a long conversation with the person that is in charge. It's the waste tire removal program. in all reality, we should be applying for that every time we reach 200 tires.
Okay,
And it takes about a month.
okay,
She says that she has people that apply for it every month just so that they don't end up with a pile stocking up. So it's something that we're going to start moving into next year, is to try to get those tires moved, because at some point we have to keep in mind that that grant may go away, and if that grant goes away, we're not going to be able to. And I know this because we've tried in the past, is to try to pass the cost of taking tires onto the community. The community's just not willing to pay what it costs to get rid of them. So, I mean, the hope is this tire program. It's built in that it's self-funded. Every time you get new tires, you have to pay for disposal of the tires, and that goes in. That's where the money comes from this tire removal. The other good thing that I learned in my meeting was that before there was basically a monopoly with one company. This year they have 4 tire recyclers, so it's a little bit more of a competitive market, and it should make the process go even quicker.
And are we working with the tire companies in town? As far as like
well,
need to tires?
So yes, that brings up another issue. We're not supposed to be. Yes, we are. They need to be dealing with a tire recycler. We're not supposed to take any tires from anyone but residents of the community, and there's a limit on the tires. I have a tentative meeting scheduled up once I fill out the paperwork for the grant, to see what we can do to help accommodate. I just know from personal experience trying to deal with these tire recyclers, it's really hard. And that's kind of why we've taken tires from places we probably shouldn't. The UDQ is aware of the issue, but this is written into state statute. So yeah, they're willing to kind of work with us, but yes. So answer to your question, yes, LJ, but we're not supposed to be.
Any other questions, Chris? All right, I think you're off the hook, Chris. I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
Okay, Lily.
Yeah, I don't have too much. Chris touched on a lot. So yeah, the handbook is up with the committee, and I would just ask you to please poke holes in it. Like, that process is just what will make it stronger. And I've been going through files and just organizing, trying to follow best practices with and just retention schedules. We had some things from like 1997 that were really interesting to read. But yeah, we're still waiting to hear back on the audit date. As Chris said, we would need to have the final report into the county by May 18th. When I spoke with Sean, our auditor, in early January or the end of December, he said he wouldn't have the audit report done until the end of May. So I don't know how much wiggle room there is, and he has not responded yet. I think they're still gonna have.
Lily,
go ahead.
Lily, in my section, I had a conversation with him today, so I can go over that
Excellent.
section.
Great, thanks, Nick. We're still seeing some progress with AMCS. We're working on getting the email domain migrated, so we'll be sending emails from the .gov address, and some progress with Verifone, which is huge. We've been waiting on that for like 2 years. They've at least reached out to have us make sure the Veriphones are on so that they can be like completed and patches installed. We'll see where that goes. Let's see, and we do have now a service agreement report going, so we can just pull a report and see what residents are on, like the city residential or Grand County or rural, so that will be really helpful. I've been preparing 1099s. I do have a reminder for the board. Once a year, you need to take an Open and Public Meeting Act training that's available on the state auditor's website. I'll send out a link with that after the meeting. It's pretty short. And then just once per term, I believe you've all done this, there is a board training that you have to take. And then more trainings. Chris has been pushing trainings this year. Next week on Wednesday, we have Jason from the Utah Local Governments Trust coming to do a defensive drive-in training just for solid waste staff. So I think that'll be great. And then Chris and I are going to attend the Utah Government Finance Officers Association. I know, it's like a nerd convention in St. George. It'll be the last week in March. So I think
Yes.
that'll be good. That's all I have.
I just have a question about some of those old files.
Yeah.
Like, are we saving any, like to, scanning them in? We don't need to keep the paper copies for historical records or
I did everything that felt like it was pertinent, like, an HR conflict in 1997. I
Right.
let that go. But yeah, I've been really meticulous on following the records retentions that are outlined. I haven't been scanning them and I've been still saving the hard copies. As part of the IT upgrade, Chris was talking about our drives have a lot of redundancies and like circular loops. So I was hesitant to put anything in just right now. I wanted to wait for those to get a little more ironed out and then do that.
More secure. Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Any other questions? Okay, how do we want to do Jessica's? Did everybody have an opportunity to read Jessica's report
I
in the
did.
packet?
And I appreciated the fact that she did a written report.
Absolutely, yeah, very thorough. Okay, are there any questions on that report that maybe Lily or Chris can answer?
Do you guys have a timeline on the eco drum? Like you guys were gonna do a test and. I think that in the past, I think Jessica's talked about like a kind of a general schedule for that when we thought we might be in different phases. Do we know what that is? Or do we wait for her to get back?
No, so we're waiting for training. That training's going to be happening in February. Once we go through the training, then we'll immediately after, so everything's fresh in our mind, we'll start running a batch through. With the training, we're actually still waiting on one component for it, but they're supposed to bring it with them when they come train. So hopefully by the end of February, we'll have started our first trial run.
And so do you have a stockpile of material for that first run?
We do as far as the green waste goes. I'm really hesitant on getting food until I make sure
Yeah.
Good idea.
everything here. I think that's my number one concern about this is stockpiling food waste. So there may be an issue of timing that delays that a little bit, but I really don't think we're going to have an issue trying to get food because we can go as small as we need to start off with.
And remind us where the first food waste is coming from. Is that the school district and a couple of restaurants or?
I have stopped. So Jessica's reached out to plenty. We got lots. I haven't let anyone commit for the same reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots. Every time she's kind of reached out, I mean, people are ready. So I don't really think it's going to be an issue. There may be a little bit of delay, but I think the delay is worth just trying to lean to the side of caution and not trying to have a bunch of food stockpiled up at Moab landfill.
Absolutely. Okay, any other questions on Jessica's report? Nick?
Great. I'll start out with, I did have a conversation with Sean at SMUN today. They can meet that April 18th deadline. What we're going to do is be able to do a lot of submission of documents and stuff between now and that when they come out at the beginning of May. So I think we'll be able to knock out a lot of the audit related stuff that probably will cause them to only have to be out there for a day. And he said that they could meet that May 18th deadline if we're able to compile and get things to them and upload it to their Citrix or that Citrus site. So there'll be a number of things there, with the year end, there's things I'm working on, the, year end accruals, there'll be some items that don't come in till February related to the pension. That's a state adjustment that we do. So I'll be reviewing the balance sheet to make sure that's clean and ready to go. But we'll be able to submit items that they can look at and review during their tax season in the interim between now and May. So I think if we continue to use SMUIN, that we'll be able to meet that deadline. So I think
Nick, that's great. Thanks for all the work you're gonna do on that, making
So
that
there-
happen.
yeah, there's a number of things. So that's on my agenda. A couple of things that are due this month is the revenue expense transparency report, which is a quarterly thing. So that's normal. There's an annual report, the payroll transparency report. So I'm working on that. There's yeah, so it's just getting us ready for the audit in conjunction with year end. There are a couple of items that in the financials that you have in your packet. I don't have the quarterly mineral lease number in there yet, and I haven't booked the December mineral lease items. So that's probably about, I want to say 30K in revenue that's not in the numbers you're seeing right now. So again, as we're working through year end items, we'll be able to get the information compiled and have a better look at what the financials look like. We did have a good year. We did exceed budget, under budget on expenses, and a little bit over budget on the net income. So we're in a good position. The budget for 2026, I'm working to get that input into QuickBooks so that when we pull reports, you can see the actuals and the budget numbers. In conjunction with that, Chris wanted to have the 09 or the 04 system, the single stream recycling, and the 09 system, the OCC route, incorporated underneath the CRC. So I'm working on combining those. And so when I input those into QuickBooks, we'll have those three systems together in one system. Yeah, so I think that's what I have so far. So if there's any questions.
Good questions for Nick.
Did you mention that the auditors would think they're only going to be here for a day?
He did.
That's what he was thinking. If we're able to get most of the documents submitted and they can review them between now and May, it'll allow them to shorten their time frame to be on site, which may be what they need to be on site for is to actually look at some documents related to if they have part of their audit process, if they need to look at certain things on site. And so I think, I mean, over the last couple of years, they have, it's been about a day and a half.
Yeah.
When we first doing it was about 3.5 days. And so they've been very able to get their work done in pretty streamlined fashion. That's one of the benefits of having a continuous relationship with that auditing firm, that they know the historical information, and so they're able to kind of get through some stuff fairly quickly. So there's a benefit to that. But yeah, so it's thinking, again, I don't have those dates in front of me. I think it was that first week of May is when we had originally.
I think it was May 4th. That's the Monday of that first week. I'm glad he responded to you because I was sort of like, when are we gonna hear?
Yeah, he was driving, so he wanted to make sure that he got in contact with some of us here. So, yeah, so it'll probably be one of those days in that week. I don't know if it'll be the Monday or the Tuesday or the Wednesday, but I think they'll be able to knock it out in a day for what they need to do.
And I think part of the reason that they do have to come at least one day is pull random
The cash
Thanks.
receipt.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and just kind of, that's part of the audit. You just pull things randomly. So.
Yeah, random, and to interview staff, appropriate staff members as part of the audit. So those are face-to-face conversations.
Got it.
And I assume you're going to plan on being here.
Yes.
For that week.
Yeah.
because I have something else I want to work on, and we'll get together, outside this meeting. So maybe an extra day from when
Yeah,
I'm here.
definitely.
Okay.
And between now and then, Lily and I and Chris can coordinate on any documents that they may need. I know that Lily's working on the bank reconciliations. That's a big part of it. So once she and I can talk about timeframes on that, and so getting those documents and whatnot submitted to them, and that'll help move this process along.
Great. Okay, no questions for Nick? Thanks, Nick.
You're welcome.
Okay, board reports. Mike, you want to start us out?
Nothing to report.
I have nothing to report either.
Okay,
Yeah.
moving through them fast. AJ,
No report from me.
Mary,
Yes, I wanted to mention that last night at the county commission meeting, Chris Wood from the Division of Wildlife Resources are you there?
yes.
Okay, I lost you for a minute. Oh, I didn't see your pictures for a minute. Anyway, he went on and on about Chris. Did you hear that, Chris? And what an amazing person he is to work with, and how helpful he's been with dealing with deers that have the wasting disease, and how helpful just the solid waste district's been. He spoke very highly.
Great. That's good to hear. Thank you, Mary.
Yeah, so if you want to go back and look, it'll make you feel good. He mentioned you more than once.
Okay.
Well deserved.
Yeah. Yeah, and I would add to that. I mean, I think there are multiple things that Chris has been working on recently and last year that are really restoring trust in the solid waste district. So, thanks, Chris.
Great. Thank you.
I don't have a report. Chris, I would like to talk to you this week after you have that meeting with the DQ on the financial assurances.
Yes, absolutely.
A check-in, please.
Yes, 100%. I'm sure that both the city and the county are waiting for a follow-up.
Yeah, nervously. Thanks, Chris. Okay, we are moving on to old business. Any old business? Any? What was
I don't think so. I was doing a different format with the agenda and kind of left that in and then didn't delete it.
Got it. Okay. Discussion action item, open enrollment period for City of Moab residents. Who is this?
Yeah, I'll take it. I was gonna try to pawn some of this stuff up to Lily, but I'm here, so. So this is something that's been come up. Even AJ's commented on it. My thinking is that we don't win just by being financially sound. A component of us being successful and what we're trying to do here is getting community support. We've had multiple occurrences where our opt-out periods has caused situations, and I'll freely admit that this is not a good business choice. As far as operations, I explained it when AJ had brought it up when he had asked about it, but I think this would go a long way in just providing better service to the community. I know, in fact, when our carts got delivered, I was talking to the manufacturer of the carts that we got, and there was a similar thing down in St. George. So just a caution, because what they had done is kind of the same thing as I'm proposing, where they had an opt-out, and then they changed it to where people can just do it whenever they wanted, and a lot of people dropped out of their curbside collection. And then over the years, because the majority of money made from recycling comes from the collections. So if you take away that puts the whole system in danger. But I think that there's enough people that believe in recycling, and we're working on trying to do some pilot programs So it was just something that I was gonna bring up, and even if you guys, if the board, passed this to where we would get rid of, the open enrollment opt-out, I would not want to implement it until I could talk to the city. Because that's in the county, it's that way anyways. That's the other component of this. In the county, people can change whenever they want. So once again, even if the board did kind of approve this measure, I wouldn't want to implement it until I could talk to the city manager and make sure that they were okay with it as it is written in our ILA with the city. We want to be careful, you know, how we're interacting when it comes to the portions of our contract.
Was that a 5-year contract? I'm trying to remember.
10-year.
10-year? Okay.
Okay, questions on this? No?
There's no action item yet, right?
I'm sorry, I don't have the agenda in front of me.
It says discussion / action item.
So it could be an action item if the board wanted it to.
I don't want my comments to put the viability of pickup service in question here. So like, don't let me sway you too hard there, Chris.
No, it is. We get upset customers. I mean, I can't put a number on how much it is, but people just feel like they're getting bullied into it, is what it comes down to. And like what I kind of, and I tried to explain it, and I want to be fully transparent. This isn't the best business decision, but I truly believe that the success of the district comes with community support. And if we can make, a little bit of concessions, and this is just for the city, we already do this for the county. They can cancel or add service at will.
If I may, Chris, the city residents are also bound to have trash service if they have water on still. So I don't think there would be, people might decrease to an every other week can or the 65 every other week. I think recycling would see possibly the biggest hit.
Yeah.
But I mean, what we saw at the last open enrollment, I think in October, it was a very small, I think it was 10 residents? It was 10 or less that canceled recycling. So while it could be a financial hit, we're not gonna see every city resident cancel service.
Absolutely. Or any.
I have mixed opinions about this. I've never heard of this open enrollment until I joined this board and I was like, what is this health insurance? But it wasn't even that, it was with trash services. I live in the county, so this is completely new to me. With that being said, even my other utilities, like I don't have to have open enrollment to sign on for stuff or cancel the Netflix. Is this what other communities do? I mean,
I was told by Mercy Mason, the city treasurer, that with the previous agreement that they had with Monument Waste that then the district assumed when they bought it, that they did a lot of research and open enrollment was kind of standard. Especially for large municipalities, it's hard to just run all over all year and to just get it done in chunks.
Right. That was part of the decision for you guys too, wasn't it? Having to do with the hassle of.
I think yes, and also that kind of assured revenue for
Yeah.
a long period of time.
And so they can cancel, there's every 6 months, they have a window when they could cancel.
Cancel or reduce services, you can always increase service, but again, this is only for residential customers. Commercial customers in the city can change at any time.
So we're
So,
talking about residential recycling.
yeah, we're pretty much only talking about
Trash.
residential recycling. And then if someone with trash service wanted to decrease to every other week.
Just some historical thing too. When Monument Waste first did this, they wanted to mandate recycling. In fact, they almost backed out once it went to an opt-out because they had ran the numbers, and that's the only way they were going to commit to the recycling is if they mandated. And I started saying this too is down in Washington County, the result of that, as because so many people started opting out and it was going to collapse their recycling thing, they ended up mandating it down there. So now it's mandated down there. And I know that the state is moving towards some kind of variation of that statewide. Not that kind of influences this decision. The reason I thought about this was just merely for customer satisfaction.
I personally feel like we still need a little bit more information before we make a action item of it. Like, I'd like to hear more about how the city indeed feels about it, especially in relation to our contract, before we make any kind of action item.
Okay.
From my memory, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, in your previous discussions with the city manager, I thought the feeling was that the city would like to do away with open enrollment. Is that correct?
Yeah. Although that in context, that was because they felt we were being a little bit heavy-handed with how we wanted to do some of our enforcement for non-pays and stuff. And I do have a meeting scheduled on the 29th with the city manager. That's kind of why I just threw this on here, was to get the board's feeling. If maybe we just leave this on, then I can kind of report back to see what the city manager is.
We could also pull some numbers to just give an idea of how many recycling customers we have in the city, and you know what it would look like if, like,
I know it's not gonna be a lot, but my biggest concern is because we have that contract with the city, I really wouldn't wanna do anything that could cause any animosity or, you know, I'd
Yeah.
rather hear their side of it before.
100%.
Are there any exceptions to the open period? Like if somebody moves and yeah, I guess the water's going out of their name and stuff, can they get out of it?
yeah, so new enrollment, like, you know, someone's selling their house and they have a weekly 96-gallon trash cart and the new owner wants every other week, like, we honor that. You know, you don't have to assume. Yeah, I think it's when a water bill switches names.
And so they could change the recycling and the recycling
Mhm.
in that period too.
Yeah.
The other thing too, with this meeting with the city managers, I was gonna bring up, I had Savannah working on exactly how many people, because right now when it's kind of tied to this mandate of the trash service, is they're not enforcing it. So I mean, we just basically pull their cart, and that's what basically the city wanted us to do, and then they would handle it. So in this meeting, I'm going to also approach that and give them a list of all the, carts that have been pulled, and give a financial component of how that directly affects us. Because I mean, the whole reason that we give the city a cheaper rate than the county is because we get it all. And so we're not skipping around from house to house. And that needs to be there. And so if this gets, if we get too many and they're not willing to kind of give any kind of enforcement in it, we may have to try to raise rates. I don't think we're anywhere close to that. That's more long-term thinking. Yeah, I'll be discussing that with them as well.
I think I agree with LJ. I don't think we're ready to I wouldn't be ready to do an action on it yet. I have one more question, like, if somebody they call and they want to cancel the recycling, you say, no, you can't do it, it's not open season. Can they say, okay, can you just have it canceled in October, or do they have to call back in October?
We have them call back. It's just too cumbersome for us to keep track of a spreadsheet, and then someone gets missed and someone's mad. So it really is onus on them to call.
Now, at one point, there was supposed to be an option in AMF.
Oh, AMTS that they could, I believe they can do it in the customer portal.
Right, so I don't know, that would be something to look into.
Yeah.
But,
We send reminders out during open enrollment.
Yeah, Jessica, she posts on social media, but we don't usually do those bulk postcard mailers just because those are expensive. And it was the months of February and October for years.
It's usually posted in, I think, like the paper.
I think she does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Moab Solutions takes a full page ad out every open enrollment to remind people of the.
source separated option.
Yeah.
Yes. Chris,
I'd throw it out there. We could probably get a favorable listing in the advertiser too. Like if we did want to keep going with it, just to get the word out and help at least during it, if open enrollment sticks.
Chris, do you know offhand, and you know, I don't need a number, but is the number significant of carts that we've pulled in the city?
I would say, you mean for trash as well?
Yeah, for
Like
trash.
on payment, is that what you?
Yeah,
Actually, Savannah did send it out. Did she copy you that on Lily?
She did, but now I'm trying to find it and.
okay, so, yeah.
It's not huge right now. I mean, we're probably looking at 20 to 30 range.
Okay.
Couple subdivisions.
Yeah. Let's see.
Here, terminated. I have this spreadsheet, Chris. Let me see if I can just give a bulk number once it opens.
If I recall from my memory, isn't the recycler participation rate around 40%?
Yeah, I think it's closer to 30%.
That's what I was gonna say. I think it's a little bit low.
So in total, since September of 2025, 24 carts have been pulled with a combination of them being trash. Only 5 were recycle carts and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, quite so maybe like a quarter to a third of them have been reinstated. The rest were sent to collections, and I don't know if they have their life.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so sounds like we're not ready for an action item on this. Any more discussion? Everybody okay moving on? So we will move on to G, action item, extension of MOU with Moab Solutions for recycling.
It's pretty basic. It should be in your packet there. It's just a renewal of kind of the last 6 months.
Page 21.
Yeah.
It's a.
There's been no issues, right, with this MOU?
No, I think it's been working really well. I think Kim, who kind of is our contact with Moab Solutions, has been excellent. And I know that this is helping expand it to all of southeastern Utah. We did our first trial run up in Price. Kim actually has a meeting with the state. The state, when I talked to the state about this, they're actually setting up a similar kind of hub and spoke, what they would like to do with the entire state. So for me, this is just kind of getting ahead of the game of things that are going to be coming down the line, and just being able to kind of make sure we have the infrastructure and systems in place. So yeah, we haven't had any issues. The other thing is Kim has been really conscientious about her invoices, and I guess we probably should have included how much we paid out. Would you have that?
Yeah, so currently through the end of December 31st, we've paid out $4,408.95. So with the $10,000 cap, there's still $5,591.
Great.
We're just extending the MOU. We're not agreeing to more money. Are we ready for our motion?
I think so.
Motion to extend the MOU with Moab Solutions through December 31st of 2026.
I'll second.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, LJ. All in favor? Are there any opposed? None. H, board compensation, residential curbside Curbside collection service.
Chris, do you want me to take this one?
Sure.
Yeah, I kind of tried to outline it in the board packet, so obviously, as volunteers to the board, it's a lot of work. One way to compensate, we thought, was to provide residential service to board members, which would just be one weekly 96-gallon, like a maximum of one weekly 96-gallon trash cart, and every other week recycling. I calculated the maximum that this would cost us. Obviously, not all board members, just with certain living situations, would qualify, but the maximum this could potentially cost the district currently would be just under $350 a month, or just over $4,000 a year, which is 6/100ths of our projected revenue. So not a huge amount, but per the little manual that defines how boards interact, the board determines compensation. I know other boards do pay board members per meeting. I believe one I've heard, I think, is $75 a meeting. So this would be less compensation than that.
Yeah, and we think it will be an attraction to new board members.
I thought so. So we were just thinking, like, starting January 1st of this year, offering that to board members.
Which board gets $75 a meeting?
Don't worry about it, AJ. You're stuck with us. You're not leaving.
I don't know, is it like planning? It's one of the county.
Yeah, city gets a per meeting.
Okay.
I bet county, I'm not sure if county does, but makes sense.
The county doesn't pay any boards anything. I'm wondering about, I'm not sure as elected officials if the city, if we could, the city and the county rep could do that.
I think we're already
think
getting
that
paid for
goes above the our job.
Mhm.
Yep.
You know, as much as I'd love to get, you know, I'd love everybody to get free. I think, you know, we are compensated as commissioners, and we are, you know, assigned different to be on. So for the county, at least, I would feel
We lost you.
I can look this up, but I have in my head, I thought it might not be planning and zoning, but it might be one of the other boards. I believe Jessica and I thought it was $50 a meeting.
I think that's city planning.
Is it city planning?
Yeah.
That gets that? Okay, I knew
Yeah.
there's some board.
I
And
love
we
That's
get
right.
stipulations.
Were your figures including Mary and Colin, the city and commission people? That's
It just-
4K a year.
No, it included just 7 seats, 1 in the city, 1 in Castle Valley, and the remainder in the county at large. So it's just looking at, you know, if everyone had the recycling and the trash weekly service, just looking at what that would cost. And you know, we might have some at-large members that live in the city, and, you know, that would reduce this. We could potentially have more at-large members that live in Castle Valley, outside of the Castle Valley rep. That might happen, which would inflate, this figure would not include that, but it did include, you know, a Castle Valley rep, a city, someone living in the city, and then 5 people in the county.
Yeah, it was someone like, I mean, at my house, it's only every other week.
And people could always choose, you know, a lesser service than this. It would just set kind of that basic residential service, which is what the services for the special population discount for 30% for the recipients of the tax abatement. It was, you know, you can have less service, but this was like,
Right.
you know, we're not going to discount a 2-yard.
No.
Yeah.
I'm generally supportive of this.
I love the idea for, you know, like Ashley and people that, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You know, but I think I'd have to do more research, because I know there's a limited amount of money that commissioners can accept.
I can't speak to the commission, but in the little handbook, it did say that boards could be compensated
Oh,
up
boards
to
can.
$5,000 a year. So this would be well within that range.
Yeah,
Right, but I agree with Mary. I think we
I
need
think
to
the
look at the
regular
city
board
and
members,
I think Mary and I should just opt out.
I think it's, yeah, I would think,
But there should be some sort of wording in here before we.
Got it. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, I can look at wording. So any representative appointed from the city council or the Grand County Commission would be exempt, but for other at-large board members.
Let's just verify that that's
Yeah.
correct first.
Yeah, okay, I can, and I'd have that at the next meeting. Okay.
Great.
I would say I like the idea of using it as an incentive for new members and retaining a full board. It feels kind of weird. I mean, it's not that big of an amount for one person to accept monthly, but being a board member now and then voting it in, it's like I didn't sign up for this perk. So it's not really a conflict I'm experiencing, but it's kind of weird.
If you're
It just forward.
Yeah.
I think it's great, but it does go.
Congress votes for their own pay raises.
Yeah, and I don't know if I agree with that.
I know, I don't agree with that.
I think for treasurer, for certain, you know, especially treasurer, look fun for it.
We could certainly put wording in there that says future board members.
Yeah,
receive
absolutely,
this,
yeah.
and going forward, so that.
Yeah.
Well, I
Kristen
think
was,
I, as treasurer, has to do a lot more. At least it seemed to me when I was the treasurer. I see her as more than most boards having to spend time.
Yeah, it is a time consuming board. And I would say that even without the wording of something to the nature of future board members, you would all still have the opportunity to opt out of it and just allow, but then also you're not speaking for, you know, I'm like maybe LJ, maybe you think, you know, I'm putting a lot of work into this and I wanna, you know,
Yeah.
and so then there is that opportunity.
I think it's very appropriate. I really support it. I just think it's double dipping for the county.
Nobody tackle me. All right, I take it back. I have the right to opt out.
I'll work on wording and get this on the agenda for the February meeting. It was something Chris and I were just gonna do, and then I was trying to dot every I and was like, oh, the board gets to set your compensation.
If we attach a number of bill signings to
Yeah, just coming in.
We're
and
signing less
signing-
and less checks these days. so-
We are,
Yeah,
yes.
coming in and signing the checks, that's not something you have to do for most boards. I
Yeah,
mean,
there's
it's
a
a
lot of-
much
yeah.
more time-consuming board than any other board I'm on. So,
Yeah.
unless you're on a planning commission. So I support having compensation for board members, definitely.
Okay, do we have a motion for or against? Does anybody want to take a stab at this?
I think we should wait till it's.
Should wait till we have more information. Okay.
Table it.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and table this until our next meeting. Thanks for bringing it up. Assets to surplus.
Yeah, so, this is more of just, making sure we have our paperwork right. I really think like we've already surplus this, so we ended up, and we've been trying to sell, so we sold the tires, old tires that used to be on one of our loaders that we don't use. They were, basically transfer station tires that were purchased to run a landfill loader. They were horrible. And they've just been sitting around for years, but because I couldn't remember exactly when or wasn't 100%, this would be a motion to surplus the solid rubber tires and wheels for a 962 loader. I was going to add some more items to this, but I'll probably wait until we can get a bigger list, because as we go through this year, I really want to get rid of a lot of the things that we're not using. Things that sit around that we don't use have a tendency to get started, and every time they get started, we end up having to fix them. So this is specifically for the 962 solid rubber tires and wheels.
I'll make a motion to approve the asset as listed on the board packet.
I'll second.
Thanks, Ashley. Thanks, LJ. All in favor? Not opposed. Just procedurally, going back to the, actually two of the items. When we do table an action item, does that need to come with a motion? Do we need to make a motion to table it?
I don't believe so.
Mary, do you know that?
I think the Chair can decide, but the word is postpone. Table means to bring back during this meeting. Postpone means
Okay.
to put it on the next one. So you can say, we will postpone the action. But yet we really don't need to, because it said action, or was it one of those actions or
One of
discussion?
them was just an action item.
Okay,
Well, they say discussion / action item, discussion possible action item. Oh, that's the next one.
Yeah, the board compensation was just an action item. And
Okay,
so I
yeah,
think-
that's the one that should
okay.
be.
It's-
Yeah. Okay, I'll be more attentive to that in the future. I do wonder if we need a motion that there is to be some action, and that action can just be a postponement.
But if it
Yeah,
get a motion, it would fail, and then could it just be old business in the future? I don't know.
Yes, absolutely. I believe so.
Yeah.
Mary, wouldn't that be true? If there could be a motion, but it fails and then it becomes,
Or if there's.
The easiest and the cleanest way is for someone to make a motion to postpone this item until the next meeting.
yeah. Yeah, because there, I mean,
So
that's.
I
it's
would make a motion to
There be
postpone
some
that.
action on it.
Well, I make a motion to postpone the item concerning compensation for board to the February meeting.
Got it. Thank you. Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. My bad. Discussion, possible action item, solid waste ACB board vacancy recommendation.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so I know I've talked to everyone in the past about trying to include the Southeastern Health Department as a board seat. I would defer that if we got a Castle Valley representative, because that's in the bylaws, and that it would kind of be a cleaner thing. And I know Mary had mentioned there was a possible application out there, but I don't think we've ever seen it.
I heard she wasn't interested anymore. What, didn't you hear that, Lily?
Oh,
Yeah.
I heard that as well.
So I think as far as this goes, I think I would just reach out unless the board feels strongly against not having the Southeastern Health Department as part of the board. I would just reach out to them and have them fill out an application. And then we'll probably have to submit a change to the county commission, to which we talked about in the past as far as changing the bylaws for the Castle Valley. I think that would be the cleanest approach to this.
Yeah, we'd have to submit it in amendment to the bylaws and then allow them to apply.
Got it.
I just think going forward with everything that we're going to be trying to accomplish over the next 3 years, having them a little bit more involved would be a benefit, and that's just my personal take on it.
Makes sense, Chris.
I
I'm
agree.
in- Yeah, I'm in favor of changing the bylaws, actually. You can put some cleaner language in there as far as the board members are concerned. I mean, probably overall, but at least right now.
So maybe that's the first thing that we have to do. So maybe we can work on getting an amendment submitted to the county, and then I can reach out to the Southeastern Health Department to
I have
turn
a
in
question.
application.
Chris, would our board have to approve the amendment before we send it to the commission?
Mhm.
Okay, so I can have that on the February meeting, and then it could be on the
Right.
first meeting in March.
Yeah.
The commission, okay.
And you've had recent conversations with them, Chris? They do have the bandwidth?
Yes. And what my discussions with them, and they were happy to do whatever process. And my thinking would be, it would just be a seat and then they can fill it. I know Orion was talking about Jonathan, who I've worked with quite a bit, and he seems great, very knowledgeable.
Yeah, I agree.
On the agenda, it said this could be a possible action item. So I think we should make a motion to have the bylaws state that the Castle Valley appointment is now an at-large appointment, and have Lily write that up and send it to the commission for their next meeting in February or the second meeting in February? Because either way, we would have it ready to vote on the following next Friday, you know, if, so you hear what I'm saying? I think I will make a motion to change the bylaws to state that the Castle Valley representative will from now on be considered, be an at-large.
I would
And-
like to see, I'm sorry, wording that preference would be given to a Castle Valley resident, but it didn't have to be, just because I'd like the opportunity to maybe get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you have a priority and a secondary. If no
Yeah,
applicants for the Castle Valley, then it reverts to a at-large or something along that line.
We've had a very difficult time filling the Castle Valley. That's
Would
why
it-
Pam Hackley was on it for 100 years.
Yeah, she was.
Would it be that we could just have an appointment approved by the Castle Valley Town Commission? What do they have, a town council? Is that too much that we then like, rather than them having a rep, anyone in that at-large seat would be approved by them?
I think it's too complicated.
Okay, sorry.
I really do. I mean, Castle Valley, we can ask maybe we could report to Castle Valley.
I do have a friend on the Recreation Special Service District who's listed as the Castle Valley rep, and he lives in the city of Moab. He lives on Hillside.
Huh.
I don't know how that worked out,
Yeah.
but he's listed as the Castle Valley rep and has never lived there.
That can become, anyway, I just think we should make it real easy and say that we have at-large positions and Castle Valley, and, if we wanted to enlarge the district to include the service area in San Juan, that would be great, but I think we want to get a board member on sooner than later.
Mhm.
So I make it
You wouldn't
real.
want this, you wouldn't want this one seat that maybe the Southeast Utah Health Department is gonna be occupying to be like the Castle Valley seat. It might be better to make it at large, and maybe if we wanted to have language in there, say encouraging that it's us to have representation, maybe it's already in the representation from the whole service area.
We don't have that. I did reach out last fall and asked the county attorney if we could have on a Grand County board, since Grand County Commission approves the board members, if we could have a member from San Juan County. And we didn't get too far into it, but he didn't think it would be a problem and said just send him the language and he would review it. But just, I didn't know that would work for the Grand County Commission to approve a citizen of San Juan County. I don't know.
Got it.
Yeah.
But our service area is expanding, outside of Grand County.
Well, for expediency, and we'd have to get more knowledge on whether or not the Grand County can even appoint somebody from San Juan County. Let's just make it at large.
I agree.
You could just say the service area and that could be defined later, whether it could be someone from outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you need Mary to repeat her motion, or?
Put it down if someone wants to second it.
I second it.
Okay, thanks, Mary. Thanks, Mike. Okay, all in favor, of Mary's motion?
Aye.
None opposed. Thank you. Okay, we are on to the future consideration of the next ACB meeting scheduled for Wednesday, February 18th, 2026 at 4:30 PM.
Sounds good.
Everybody okay with that? Excellent.
I'll be on Zoom probably.
And do we need a closed session? Moving along. Okay, with that, I'll go ahead and adjourn this meeting.
Thank you,
Thank
Colin.
you.
Thank you.
I hope to be in person next time. Miss seeing you guys.
Thanks, Mary.
Bye.